Greetings everyone! This is the module for unifying server and client-side validation in the Recrogrid Framework Form Validation course. By the end of this module, you will know how to create centralized form validation using the Recrogrid framework, which can be used on both the server and client sides. Let's dive in. Here is the previously created application where separate server-side validation is implemented at the top and client-side validation is implemented at the bottom. I'm going to modify this. The best thing about Blazor is that I can write client-side code in C#. This fact, combined with the use of the Recrogrid framework, is such a powerful combination that surpasses all previous expectations. Soon you'll see how simple and clean it will be. We'll need a class library named Northwind Common for shared usage. For this shared usage, we'll need the Recrogrid Framework Abstraction package. I'll add references to the API and the client application. In the shared component, I'll create a validation folder and place a class named OrderDetailValidation here. This class will have a method named validate, to which I'll pass the record and the message collection. At this point, an important decision needs to be made. Here, we have a typed data record on the server side, while on the client side, it's a dynamic dictionary. Although RGF can convert between these two, the typing would require placing the entire data model in a separate library. This modification goes beyond the current tutorial scope, so I'll opt for the simpler solution and use dynamic dictionary. I'll convert the data record to RGF Dynamic Dictionary. Ensuring case insensitivity for field names. I'll generate the method. I'll move this block to the shared library. The first thing we notice here is that server-side UI messages are not recognized in this library. Thanks to the abstraction layer, we can replace this with the ErgForm validation messages interface. Our data record is also not suitable. It's best to start from the client-side implementation. I'll copy this. All right. This looks better. Just a few names need to be changed. I'll remove the form group message as it's no longer needed. Now I'll call this validation in the client-side code as well. Here's an important difference. While on the server side, we always validate a complete form, on the client side, we can validate field by field. So I need to pass the field name as well. Thus, the validation extends with the following condition. It should validate when the field name is null, meaning form validation, or when we validate exactly this field. This part is no longer needed. I'll build it. There's an error, namely that I'm not passing the field name parameter on the server side. This is not required. Let's test it. It seems the client-side validation works fine because we don't need to submit the form. For testing purposes, I'll now comment out the invocation of client-side validation to ensure that the server-side validation works. If I enter incorrect data now, it seems to accept it. But the server-side validation throws an error, so it's working fine. For summary, I'll place the three methods one below the other. At the bottom, handle client-side validation, in the middle, server-side handling, and at the top, validation itself. The simplicity of the code speaks for itself. In the Recrogrid framework, it's this simple. This was Recrogrid Framework's shared validation for server and client sides. As a continuation, see how to place this error message in the Recrodict dictionary and how to create a migration version for these changes. To continue, click on the video. Thank you for your attention.